Don't look now, folks, but the movies are back. This past weekend box office really was phenomenal. It gave Meryl Streep her biggest opening ever. The Devil Wears Prada 2 took in $77 million domestically. I think 3 times that all around the world. And listen, it's a good economic story, but I also think it's good for a lot of other reasons. I'm going to bring in now Federalist elections correspondent Brianna Lyman, along with New York Post columnist Carol Markowitz. And, you know, I just got it. There was one line in there. It's too early for us to use this sound, you know, to borrow the sound, but I just thought it was so intriguing where the main character, the Meryl Streep character is talking. There was going to be an expose about her life. And she said, well, you know, I suppose I could have been the kind of mother who was always there because they were dissing her for not being there for their kids. But then I wouldn't have been me. And the world doesn't need another nice mother. It needs someone to hold the line. I love my work. People should know that there's a cost to that. What do you think when you hear that, Carol? Because on one part, as someone who's a workaholic, I appreciate what she has to say, and I'm always criticized for working hard, and I think working mothers are criticized even more.
I agree. I mean, I think working mothers are told that they're failing both at home and at work. I love my job, but I'm also 100% there for my kids. I think it's completely doable. The idea that women can't have it all is ridiculous. Men never get pinned with that. You never hear a man say, oh, I can't have it all. I'm somehow not managing to have both a career and have kids. You could do it all. Women are doing it all, and we've done it for a very long time.
Are you intimidated, Brianna?
Well, I feel like I can't comment because I'm not yet a mother. But as someone who has a wonderful mother who is a stay-at-home mother, Mom, if you're watching, hi. I will say that having a career is important for women, but a child having a mother who is as hands-on as possible is really important for development. And it's also important for women. There's
What
studies.
about these studies showing that the fathers are being more hands-on now than ever before?
Which I really appreciate, because I do think there's been a shift in the gender paradigm where fathers realize that their role isn't just to be the provider. You have to be the provider financially, but also emotionally for your children and your spouse, right? That's what makes you have a strong family unit. And children deserve both a mother and a father, especially present parents. And you can do that by being a working parent as well. But you shouldn't sacrifice one or the other for one or the other.
I'm going to stay on the Hollywood thing for a moment because we had that Met Gala.
Did you go?
I missed that one. I should go with a pair of overalls on or something like that. Really blow me away.
You're so fashionable.
But, you know, we did get the usual hypocritical stuff. This was Sarah Paulson. I don't know if you guys saw, she had the thing with the blindfold on. You know, obviously she's extraordinarily wealthy. And, you know, what is it about, you know, Carol, this is the kind of stuff you really hone in on really so well, the hypocrisy with these super wealthy liberals who put in policy in places that actually don't hurt them, but hurt people who want to be maybe wealthier.
That's right. I mean, Sarah Paulson is clearly in the 1% that she's mocking or criticizing here. The idea that these people are not in that 1% is absurd, of course. And, you know, that's the thing. The policies that they push will only hurt them so much because they are covered with all of this money. And the fact is that the policies that they want will hurt the middle class, will hurt the poor the most. And these people have no regard for that class of people at all. They consider them below them. And you could see it in everything that they do. You could see it in spectacles like Sarah Paulson.
And the Met Gala, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's virtue signaling. Remember when AOC wore her tax the rich dress and everyone's like, that was brave and stunning. And it's like, she's taxing the rich, but she's going to an event where only rich people can go. It's the same way Bernie Sanders rallies against billionaires, but he flies private jets and he says, well, I have to do it, but nobody else can. So it's this hypocrisy that they hope that voters don't notice, but I think it's becoming too obvious not to notice.
You know, we just talking about children deserving parents. I want to flip that around a little bit because Americans are spending more time alone. And, you know, as I get older, it's one of these charts I look back at all the time. It's kind of a scary chart. I want to find a way to move everybody next door to me or in the house. But what is there something to be said about this, though, Carol? It has become more and more, I think, of an epidemic.
It is, absolutely. And, you know, it's not just marriage. It's not just having kids. It's everything. People aren't making friends anymore. They don't know how to have relationships. They've gotten so out of it and they're so not used to it. I get mail from people all the time saying, how do I help my grown adult child make friends? And the fact that we don't know how to do that anymore, it's because we're spending all this time staring at our screens. And that's why we end up living alone in adulthood. We end up like not having anybody near us. I'd love to live on your compound. Me too.
I'm going to make a big one. There was this guy, golly, he's going to get me down a rabbit hole now. We're going to pick that up later. But It's we've talked about that too, right? The social isolation, and it's only making this even more of a problem.
Yeah, it is. And these phones, they promise that we would be more connected to the world. And if anything, everybody feels more isolated. And I read a story. There's a bar in the UK, and after 10 o'clock, if you're there single, they kick you out because they say you're kind of bringing the vibe down. How are people who do have the gumption to go out somewhere by themselves to try and make friends feel when they're getting kicked out of places and not able to make friends the traditional way, which is going out in public? So we're kind of cutting off avenues for everyone.
That's why I'm happy the movies are coming back. Now
I'm seeing Michael tonight.
All we need are good movies now. That's all we need. I can't let you guys go without having a quasi-fun thing. So I was reading about Eric Clapton, it's just an all-time legend. Every year, Rolling Stone comes out with the top guitarists and guitar players in history. Now he is number 35. 35. He used to be in the top 10. And part of the write-up says, these days, nobody really considers Clapton God. His COVID comments clearly ruled out any chance of being all-knowing. So in other words, he was the best, one of the best ever, and he's dropped to 35 on the list simply because he didn't like the COVID vaccine and he thought there was a problem with it.
Yeah, welcome to having the wrong opinion, Eric Clapton. I've been there. You know, the fact is that Hollywood makes these celebrities walk a very tight line. You're not allowed to step out of that line. You have to have the same opinion as everybody else in your world. And it's really sad and pathetic. Eric Clapton was right about COVID. He was right about the risks. And the fact that he's now being shunned because of it, at least they're being honest about it, I guess. At least they're not saying like, oh, Eric Clapton's not that good anymore.
Right.
You know?
It'd be kind of hard though to say the guy was number 9 for like 40 years. All of a sudden, we took a second listen.
I thought he actually at one point was number 2. I think it went Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. I saw Eric Clapton in Madison Square Garden about 4 years ago, and he was phenomenal. I couldn't imagine him in his prime in the 70s. But the fact that, to Carol's point, that his political views are costing him a legacy that he worked so hard for and sacrificed so much for is just an indictment that Democrats and the left are not able to have any kind of thought diversity.
It's crazy. I wish we had more time